environmentally sustainable and economically sustainable.
That will most likely have an impact on surgeries and energy.
Coming up on Ignite News, Sir Isaac Brock is remembered.
A symbol of a cause, because he died in defense of this country.
Students eat some creepy snacks.
Again, people all around the world eat bugs, so we thought, well, let's give them a try.
And Mohawk's Open House welcomes prospective students.
Come and see what it looks like in here, see all our fabulous classrooms, take a tour.
Get ready, Mohawk. Your Ignite News starts now.
Good morning and welcome to your Ignite News for Wednesday, November 28th. I'm Greg Rosser.
And I'm Dimitri Perdikaris. Here's what's making news. Toronto Mayor Rob Ford has apologized for his actions in the conflict of interest case that got him kicked out of office. Ford said he should have acted differently after he refused to pay the $3,150 that he used from lobbyists to pay for his youth football foundation. On Monday, the Ontario Superior Court disqualified him from his current mayoral term. Ford says he will appeal the decision.
Hamilton Police have asked for an increase in funding even though crime is on the decline. The Police Services Board has requested a 5% increase, raising the budget to $143 million. The increase would pay for 20 new police officers, but City Councilors Bernie Morelli and Terry Whitehead argue that the hike is too much.
This past weekend, Mohawk College opened their doors for their annual Fall Open House. Ignite News reporter Brian Naylor has the story.
Hi, how are you? Welcome to Mohawk College. Come on in for the open house.
All prospective students and their families were invited to join current staff and students at Mohawk College's annual Fall Open House. Many representatives from various departments in the school were on hand to answer any questions people had and why they should think about enrolling at the college. Professor at the McKeel School of Business, Lloyd Hobbs, says it's important to be at the open house to promote the college to future students who might not have made up their minds.
Also very important because the parents of the different students are going to be here with them, aunts and uncles and friends, that type of thing. Because the choice to come to Mohawk quite often isn't just academic, it's actually a personal choice.
Recruitment and Marketing Officer at Mohawk, Valerie Washburn, planned the open house and said how important it is to have this event every year.
The open house was a chance to speak to all our faculty, staff, students, alumni, come and see what it looks like in here, see all our fabulous classrooms, take a tour. So many people have never been in, they drive by and they're curious what's in here, and when they walk in, they are amazed.
Washburn also says she hopes the prospective students see the variety of programs and services that the college provide for their success.
We want you to be future ready, we want you to be in the program you love and be successful, get a job.
For prospect students and their parents, the open house is a chance for them to get experience of a day in the life of a Mohawk student. Reporting for Ignite News, I'm Brian Naylor.
Toronto police may lay their first charge of pretending to practice witchcraft. A 40-year-old Mississauga man, Gustavo Valencia Gomez, has been charged with fraud and pretending to practice witchcraft after performing healing services and rituals. The 56-year-old Brampton woman, Maria Rasta, says Gomez told her she was under a curse and his magical elixirs would heal her. The rituals cost Rasta more than $14,000 and were described as terrifying experiences involving blood-stained eggs, worms, and black coal. Gomez is scheduled to appear in court on December 8th.
It seems the appeal is in the mystery. Mohawk students tested their fear factor and maybe the strength of their stomachs with an interesting new meal plan. Ignite News reporter Chelsea Kaufman has the details.
Looking to shake things up with your meal plan? Bored and hungry students were in luck as a healthy yet unusual menu was offered at Mohawk College. So what was the special of the day? Bugs, and lots of them. From crunchy pizza to mystery smoothies and even Jell-O, the students of Mohawk and even faculty members opened their minds and stomachs to the unknown. This event, known as Bugalicious, is part of International Education Week taking place at the college. Lucy Lopodisi explains the reason for choosing an insect event.
This is the International Education Week, and every day this week we've been doing different events to bring different cultures to our Mohawk students. And today we decided to do a bug event. People all around the world eat bugs, so we thought, well, let's give them a try. So it's a great opportunity for students to try something new and different and exciting.
Several students were actually more than willing to try one or more of the items on the menu. To everyone's surprise, there were few unsatisfied consumers.
My bug tasting experience was great.
Well, considering I've only eaten bugs riding my bike when I yawn, it was actually pretty good.
The mastermind behind this foreign menu is Chef Linda Keeping. She explains the importance of insects in other cultures.
Actually, the Western culture is the only culture that doesn't have bugs as a regular part of their food supply, which is a shame because they're a very, very sustainable source of protein, and a lot of places eat them out of necessity because they are so plentiful and such a good source of protein and very low in fat too.
Could insects potentially make their way into our culture? I asked an international student on her thoughts.
It's interesting because it's awesome to see how people try different bugs and just to see various reactions and how people are interested in it or not. And it's just, yeah, it's just the whole concept of interaction with other people and them trying different bugs.
If anchovies aren't your thing on pizza, perhaps try worms. Reporting for Ignite News, I'm Chelsea Kaufman. Bon appetit.
Victory for Hamilton environmental activists. A McMaster University parking lot located off of Coots Paradise will be scaling back more than 300 parking spaces. A 30-meter buffer will be constructed between the asphalt of the parking lot and Ancaster Creek. An environmental group at McMaster called Restore Coots urged university officials to create this buffer because it affects natural areas.
New rules aimed at protecting the environment will drive up the price of new cars and trucks by thousands of dollars, but save motorists at the pump. The federal government, coupled with Obama's aggressive new vehicle fuel standards, would slash greenhouse gas emissions from tailpipes after 2020. The new regulations for cars built between 2016 and 2025 would mean both environmental and economic benefits. Officials say the estimated cost of an average car would climb by $700 in 2021 and $1,800 by 2025. Canadian officials say motorists will save $900 annually in fuel costs.
With fuel prices on the rise, we took to the halls and asked Mohawk what they thought about paying $5,000 more for a new car in the future.
It's definitely a great idea that Canada moves in the direction of the States, in the direction of more fuel-efficient vehicles, because our future is at stake. I mean, there's so much evidence to show that we need to start acting and conserving.
I find that it has both its positives and negatives. Positive being that he's saving the environment, which is good. Ultimately, saves the planet. Bad by the prices of cars are going up, meaning it's going to be even harder to get them. So, do we have to go back and rely to transition, which is transportation for like alternatives? So I don't know, it has this both ups and downs for me, I would say.
That's a horrible idea. Canada should never ever follow any plans of the USA.
There's two schools of thought, I think, on this for myself. Fuel efficient meaning you don't have to spend as much money on gas, but in order to do that, you'll have to pay more for the car. So, it all depends on which way you want to look at it. So maybe, the initial cost is a little bit more, but you're going to end up saving more money over the long run. So in that aspect, it might be a good idea. But on the interim as well, too, technology has gotten to the point where I'm surprised that they haven't made fuel-efficient cars at the same price. That would make more sense to me to do that.
I think in the long run, it would be worth it because even though it's going to cost us like quite a few $1 million now, like if it's more fuel efficient, then in the long run, it'll save us more money, I feel. And it'll be better for our economy and better for the environment.
Tens of thousands of protesters poured into Tahrir Square Tuesday night to protest Egyptian President Mohamed Morsi's illegal declaration. The protesters called on President Morsi to step down and say the Muslim Brotherhood stole the country. President Morsi, who announced his new powers after he helped broker a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas militants, says his decrees are necessary to shield Egypt. Egypt's judiciary members have condemned Morsi as an assault on the judicial branch of government.
This year is the 200th anniversary of the War of 1812. Ignite News reporter Lee McConnell spoke with some local historians about the importance of the war.
I became a colonel in the Lincoln Militia. I fought at the Battle of Queens Heights, and so I knew Brock personally.
This is Wesley Turner, a retired Brock University history professor.
He also goes by Ralph Clench, a colonel of the Lincoln Militia during the War of 1812. Clench fought in the Battle of Queenston Heights, the same battle where British General Sir Isaac Brock was killed. Dr. Turner held a presentation for the members of the Grimsby Historical Society about the now iconic general's efforts in the War of 1812. The war is currently the only war in history to be fought in the Great Lakes region. It is not only important for that reason, but Turner says it laid the groundwork for Canada to become a country.
It was really the first demonstration by Canadians that they wanted to have their own country, something separate from the United States. But many of them fought with the militia. Many were killed and wounded in the defense of Canada against the American invasion.
In his presentation about Brock, Turner says that just because the general is famous doesn't necessarily mean that he was a great commander.
As a battlefield commander, probably not, because he was killed so early in the war. He becomes a symbol of heroism, a symbol to inspire people to serve their country, to defend their country, a symbol of a cause, because he died in defense of this country.
Craig Tallman, the program director of the Grimsby Historical Society, says that a common theme of the war was unification, something as important in Canada then as it is now.
It was the germ that helped create Canada as a nation. It helped bind us together because Canadians of American descent, of British descent, the Battle of Chateauguay proved that French and English Canadians actually fought side by side against a common enemy. It was a unifying force in helping create, if nothing else, the identity of Canadian people on our side of the Great Lakes.
This year marks the 200th anniversary of Brock's death at the Battle of Queenston Heights, and if it weren't for the contributions he and many others made, Canada may not look the way it does today. Reporting for Ignite News, I'm Lee McConnell.
And here's a look at today's top stories. New rules aimed at protecting the environment will drive up the price of new cars and trucks by thousands of dollars, but save motorists at the pump. A McMaster University parking lot located off of Cootes Paradise will be scaling back more than 300 parking spaces. And Toronto police may lay their first charge of pretending to practice witchcraft.
We're experiencing some colder temperatures this week. Let's check in with Glenn for your weather update.
Thanks, guys. Lots of clouds outside today. Windsor is mainly sunny and 4 degrees. Variable cloudiness in London with a temperature of 3. Over in the Golden Horseshoe, more clouds over Niagara Falls, which is sitting at 3 degrees. Toronto's a bit warmer today as they're sitting at 5 degrees with a mix of snow and rain. Cloudy here in the Hammer with a temperature of 1, but it feels like -4. Looking at the next 24 hours in Hamilton, we'll have a temperature of 1 degree heading into the evening, but it will feel colder once the sun goes down, feeling like -7. Overnight, the clouds will go away, but it will drop down to a temperature of -5 and get those woolies out as it's going to feel very cold at -12. Tomorrow morning, those clouds will come back and the temperature will climb to -3. Taking a look at your 5-day forecast, tomorrow we'll have variable cloudiness with a high of 4 and a low of -5. A mix of snow and rain on Friday with a 70% chance of precipitation. We'll see a high of 2 and a low of -1. Things will warm up as we move into the weekend. Saturday will be partly cloudy with a high of 7 and a low of 2. The rain will be back on Sunday as we see light showers with a high of 10 and a low of 5. Cloudy periods on Monday morning and a low of 5. That's all your weather. Let's check in with Alicia for your entertainment update.
Thanks, Glenn. James Street is not only the center of the arts in Hamilton, it's also the title of a new musical about the city. Veteran performer Charlie Shirelli and actress Valerie May will pay homage to the spirit of Hamilton's past, as well as inspire hope for Hamilton's future. Hamilton Spectator reporter Mark McNeil, who wrote songs for the musical, brought the idea to the Artwork Theatre. It will host the performances starting November 29th. Aspiring playwrights in Hamilton can now submit short plays to the Hamilton Arts Council for the 2013 Hamilton Festival. But there's one catch. The scripts can only be 10 minutes long. The festival plays will be performed at the Pearl Company in April. Submissions will be considered until December 15th, and each short play will be considered for the Audience Favorite Award, which includes a cash prize. Have you started your Christmas shopping yet? If not, head over to Christmas on Locke Street this Saturday. Shops will be open all day during the festivities, which include live music, arts and crafts, and an appearance from Mr. and Mrs. Claus. Donations of toys or perishable food items will be accepted to help support City Kids and Mission Services. That's all for entertainment. Time to pass it over to Lee for sports.
Thanks, Alicia. On the court last night, the Rockets handed the Raptors their 5th straight loss. Andrea Bargnani scored 21 points and Terrence Ross shot a career-high 19 in the 117-101 loss. But the big news is happening off the court. The Rockets flew to Minneapolis after the game to attend the funeral of Sasha McHale, the daughter of coach Kevin McHale. She died of complications from lupus on Saturday. A moment of silence was held for her before the announcement of their lineup. The Raptors play the Grizzlies tonight in Memphis. Still in the NBA, the Lakers fought hard to come back, but eventually fell short to the Pacers last night. Being under the weather didn't stop Kobe Bryant from shooting an impressive 40 points in the 79-77 loss. This marks the 114th 40-point game of his career. The Pacers managed to hold off the Lakers' last-minute rally with a final shot from George Hill, which sank with 0.1 seconds left on the clock. The Lakers struggled to make baskets, having a shot percentage of only 32. The Lakers also just passed the club low of 70 points in the final minutes of the game. Indiana stays in California to face Sacramento on Friday. And just in case you were worried there was no hockey news today, Glendale City Council has approved a lease deal that could allow former San Jose Sharks executive Greg Jameson to buy the Phoenix Coyotes. The 20-year, $320 million package was passed by a vote of 4-2 and is conditional on the purchase of the Coyotes being completed by January 31st, 2013. The deal would see Jameson getting $15 million annually to help run the Jobbing.com arena. The NHL has owned the Phoenix Coyotes since its former owner, Jerry Moyes, drove the team into bankruptcy in 2009. And that's it for me with sports. Let's pass it back to Greg and Dimitri.
Thanks, Lee. Facebook, like, and now hashtag aren't just terms for social media. They're now given names. Baby hashtag Jameson made her debut on the Twitterverse last night. She is named after an action on the social media platform Twitter. A hashtag is represented by a numerical sign as a symbol used to symbol mark keywords or topics in a tweet.
And that's all your news for Wednesday, November 28th. To check out more news coverage, go to our website at ignitenews.ca. I'm Greg Rosser.
And I'm Dimitri Pertikaris. Thanks for watching Mohawk.